In this lecture, we're going to learn about comments. Now, I'm going to be straight up. Comments are boring and they don't take long to understand. So I'm going to have a little bit of extra fun coding stuff at the end of this lecture. So first, let's just dive through comments. So comments are a way for you to type your own text inside of your code, and it won't try, the Android Studio won't try and run the code that's in there. Okay, so I think by doing it, you'll kind of understand what it is. So for example, in this situation, we set the money in my wallet equal to 0, and then there was $100 in it because someone bought my class, but then I bought some stuff at the store, right? Like, it'd be nice to explain this inside of the code so people knew why this number kept changing, okay? So inside of here, to make a comment, all you do is hit / 2 times, okay? And if you're wondering what a / is, just think about if we have a / and a backslash here. This doesn't look like that great of a backslash, but if you look at this as like a little mountain here, the / is on the front side and the backslash is on the back side. I had a student teach me that in one of my classes, and I just thought that is the greatest way to remember that. So anyways, 2 / and then you can type whatever it is you want. So in this case, I'm going to say, I got a new wallet, but I'm broke. Okay? So this is, again, comments are just a way to kind of leave some information in your code, but this code is never like compiled or run when we hit run. So watch, when we hit run here, everything's going to work just like it did before. Okay? It prints out 92. Awesome. Whereas if we didn't have this here, Android's throwing up all these situations. It's like, is this like some type of like int or string, or like what is this, right? But by putting the 2 slashes here, it goes, this is a comment. This is just something for the programmer to read. Whereas when the computer actually runs this, it pays no attention to anything with these /. So something that you can do, well, I'm just going to kind of continue this. I'm going to say, a student bought my class. Okay. Oops, I have my caps lock on. Sounds like I'm shouting it. A student bought my class. But I mean, that's pretty exciting, so maybe that was a good reason. Then I'll do another comment here that says, I bought some grub at the 7-Eleven. Okay. So you can see how when we have comments in here, it kind of makes our code a little bit easier to understand. Especially if we were going to share this code with someone else, they could come in and kind of understand what was going on here. Or you could just kind of leave notes to yourself, so if you came back, you understood what it was you were doing, or if you're stuck on something, you could leave a comment so that when you come back later, you're like, now I understand what it was I was thinking and what I'm trying to do, and you can kind of move on from there. So comments are a great way to just kind of communicate stuff. A kind of cool thing that you can do with comments is, let's look at this one here, int money in my wallet is equal to 0. If we put the 2 slashes in front of this, this now turns into just the comment, right? So this money in wallet int variable was never created. That's why we get all these error down here. So let's go ahead and delete those just so that comes back. But we could do the same thing here. If we comment out money in wallet is equal to 92 and then run this, this should now be 100. Confirm that, but yep, there it is, 100. And you see, because this line of code was run, this wasn't, this one was, where it set it equal to 100, but this wasn't, and this one wasn't, right? Where we set it equal to number 2, that never happened because there was the slashes, and it says, oh, that's a comment, I'm not running that line of code. So you can kind of see, like, if you ever want to get rid of some code to test some stuff, you can kind of put it in there, or put the / in front of it and make it a comment so it doesn't run. So let's delete those. And speaking of that, I just want to show something cool where you can comment out. That's what they say if you're going to get rid of, like, comment some code out. You see commented out. We're going to comment out multiple lines of code. And the way to do that is the start of where you want your comment to be is you do a / and a star. And you can see everything below it now just got gray. And then when you want that to end, you go ahead and put a star and a slash. So, and let's hit tab to move this over where it should be, but you can kind of see that this is the start of a comment, the / star, so it's saying, hey, here's the beginning of a multi-line thing. Now everything that's between this and then */, so kind of this all right here, all this becomes one big comment. So the reason you might want to do this, let me just get rid of these for a second so our code is actually working, is, let's say you're going to be writing like a lot of stuff, right? Like you might have a paragraph to say, here you're like, and you can do multiple lines and just type on and on and on. And that's one reason to do a multi-line, because if not, we'd have to go slash 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 slash, and it just becomes really tedious, right? So that's one reason to do it. The other reason is kind of like I said before, if you're like testing code, want to get rid of something, like for example, you're like, I don't want any of this transaction stuff, like where a student bought my class or something. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start a multi-line comment here. I'm going to end it here. And now it's as if these two lines here never happened, right? If I hit run, this should output 0. Let's confirm that that's the case. Boom, 0. Yes. So you can see these two lines of code never happened, right? Okay, so that's it about comments. It's really not that bad, but I did want to show you something cool here. So let's get rid of this multi-line comment thing. And it's a little thing to do with ints. So you can do some math with ints, right? So in this situation, we were saying, hey, you know, money in my wallet is equal to 100, and now it's equal to 92. Like, there's probably a better way to do this, and it's to actually add info into that int, like add numbers onto it and subtract from it. So instead of saying money in my wallet is equal to 100, we're going to say money in my wallet is equal to money in my wallet plus 100. And you're saying, whoa, what the heck? Like what is this about? And if we run this, I guess it will still equal 92 because we're still showing that. But all it's saying is, okay, whatever money in my wallet is, we're saying that's equal to whatever it's currently worth plus 100. And what's cool about this is, let's say, and let me update this one too, so that the example works better. But we're gonna say, okay, money in my wallet is equal to money in my wallet minus 8, okay, because that was the cost of whatever it is I bought at 7-Eleven. So we're saying, all right, it starts at 0, now it's equal to that 0 plus 100, so now this is 100, then money in my wallet is equal to 100 minus 8, it should be equal to 92. Let's hit run just to make sure. And we check, and it says 92. So the cool reason that we'd want to do something like this is, let's say, you know, money in my wallet, I start with like 40 bucks in my wallet, okay? If I do this now, I didn't have to change any of this other code, but it knows, okay, I started at 40, I add 100, then I take away 8. Whereas with the other example before, I started with 40, I'd have to change this, okay, add it plus, it's now equal to 140, and then this one's equal to 140 minus 8 is 132. It's just kind of smoother in this situation. The other thing too is, let's make another int here called price of snacks. Okay, this is going to be equal to 8 bucks. Don't forget that semicolon. And now, instead of saying money in my wallet minus 8, which is just kind of some arbitrary number, we can say the price of snacks. Okay, same thing for this Udemy class. Like, we'll say price of class here is equal to 100 bucks. Don't forget the semicolon, and now it's plus whatever the price of class is. So we run this, we should get the same, I think it was 132, right? Let's make sure it happens. Yeah, but let's say, you know what, there's a mega sale, the price of a class is now only $75. Well, we just changed this number here up at the top, and the rest of this code still completely functions, right? So we hit run now, and now we have $107, which is, we started with 40, okay, then we added the 75, then we minus whatever price of snacks was, 8. You can kind of see you can do some cool math stuff with all these different int variables. So hopefully you enjoyed that. I am going to do a challenge here. It's going to be a quick one, and the challenge is simply this. I want you to make a comment, okay? And to kind of announce this, I'm going to kind of give things away, is starting now is whenever I make a challenge at the end of a lecture, is I'm going to actually type out what the challenge is. So I'm going to say, you know, part 1 of the challenge is make a comment, okay? In fact, I'll do this. I'll say make a single line comment, and then your next challenge here is going to be number 2. I'm going to say make a multi-line comment. Okay, so you can see now that we know what comments are, we can actually use these inside of our challenges to kind of break down things one by one and or piece by piece, and you'll be able to see those. So pause the video, go make a single line comment, and then go make a multi-line comment. Come back here and we'll talk about it. So I'm assuming you're done with this challenge. You probably did it quickly. This wasn't too bad. First one here, make a single line comment. This could count as a single line comment, but I'll make a new one. I'll just say, hello there. That's it, okay? Number 2, make a multi-line comment, /*/*. And look, this is something cool about Android Studio too. If you do /* and then hit enter, it'll automatically make the second one for you. So you can still, you know, kind of manually type that out if you want to, but I just thought it was better. If ever you have code that kind of ends up on the side here, you can just select it and hit tab and kind of move it over that way. If you ever want to move it back the other way, hold down your shift key and tab and it will move it back the other way. But it's kind of if you want to make sure that things are pretty. And then inside of the multi-line comment, let's type some things just for fun. So anyways, congratulations. What was probably a little bit of a boring lecture, I hope I kind of spiced up by making that example better, showing you how you can use int variables even more, kind of doing that adding and subtracting stuff. Well, good work, and if you have any questions, please post them. Let's go ahead and move on to the next lecture.